Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiya Ma Amritat. Free us from bondage, free us from death, from disease, from all kinds of things. Sometimes we say this prayer, but sometimes there are people who actually wish for death. There are people who feel like it's so much, it's too much, that I can't take it anymore. And there are people who wish that this life just needs to be over because they're going through so much hardships. There was once this woodcutter, and he didn't have a place to stay. He was dwelling in the forest, and this was in Bharat. And so every day he would chop some wood and he would bring it to the market and he would sell the wood. And he would get okay money for the wood and he would be able to sustain himself, but he didn't do more than that. And the thing is, whenever it was monsoon season, it became very hard for him because the wood that he had cut was getting wet and he couldn't sell it anymore to the marketplace. So whenever monsoon season came, he had a hard time. There were days he went without food. And whenever it was monsoon, he would pray and pray. And his prayer was to Lord Death. His prayer was, why don't you come and take me? Please come and take me because times are too hard. I don't have enough money. I can't sustain myself. I have nowhere to go and I can't sell this wood. And he would, out of desperation, pray to Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. And he would do this every now and then in the monsoon season. One day when he prayed out loud, someone came to him. And that someone was Yamaraj, Lord of Death. And at first the woodcutter didn't know who it was. So he said, who are you? He said, I am Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. And the woodcutter said, okay. And Yamarajji said, I've come to take you with me. Actually, your time isn't up yet. Even though you're about 70 years old, he was about 70 at that time, your time isn't up yet. But since you're praying so hard, I'll come take you. I'll take you. Come, let's go. And this woodcutter just looked around and he said, no, I don't want to go yet. Then Yamaraj said, but you've been praying for me. Now I'm here. Now let's go. He said, no. I made a mistake. I think my life is good. I think my life is okay. I'm just not ready to go yet. Just give me some more time. Yamarajji said, okay, since it's not your time yet, fine, you can take more time. And he left. After this visit from the Lord of Death, this woodcutter's life had changed. He realized that maybe he didn't have enough money. Maybe sometimes he was lacking food and he was starving. And maybe he didn't have a place to stay. But he had the most important gift of all, and that was the gift of life. He had the gift of life. And that is a profound gift. It's a profound gift. And sometimes we don't take enough time to sit and reflect on what being alive means. I mean, the very fact that maybe we can't go out everywhere to wherever we want to go or physically visit whomever we want to visit. But the very fact that we can still breathe and we can still speak and we can still open our eyes, that in itself is a wonder. How can anyone be sad when they have a chance at life? Once in one of our sessions, one of our Devis said that her mother was going through a lot and she was bedridden for 2 years or 3 years. And every morning when she asked her mom, how are you? And her mom said, I can see, I can smell, I can hear, I can taste, and I can breathe. I'm okay. And so sometimes when we feel like things are getting so hard, when we want to go, when we want to leave, when we feel like, what's the point of all of this? We can see, we can hear, we can smell, we can taste, we can breathe. And compared to so many people out there, we can still live and we are still alive. That is a profound gift. Once that woodcutter realized that, he changed his life. He changed his life from being worried and complaining and not knowing what to do to being accepting and thinking clearly. And he started to build a home for himself. He started to find those materials that would help his home stay stable so that he can bring the wood in monsoon and he would be okay. He started thinking a little bit more deeply about how he can really live life. So perhaps if someone is thinking of taking their lives away, perhaps they haven't thought of how life can really be lived. Remember, in Sanatana Dharma, your life is not just for you. Your life is for the world. So when someone takes away their life, they're taking something from the world. Our lives are not just for ourselves or our families, but they're for every single being. And when we realize this, then it feels so good to be alive. So when we pray today, think about how you and I, we can see, we can hear, we can smell, we can taste, we can breathe, and we can live. And that is very profound. So let's go ahead and say the prayer. Start with 3 ohms. Slowly just relax your body. Relax your feet, ankles, your legs, your knees, thighs. Slow down. Relax your hips, your stomach, and your chest. And let everything go. Relax your lower back and your upper back. Relax your shoulders, arms, hands, and your fingertips. Relax your neck, face, forehead, and the tip of your forehead. Just relax, relax, relax. From the tip of your head to the bottom of your feet, just completely relax. Take a deep inhale. Inhale life and living. And exhale death and disease. Inhale life and living. Exhale death and disease. Inhale life and living. Exhale death